This is KWCH 12 Eyewitness News Weekend.
It sounded like a freight train. I even plugged my ears too because I knew it was going to be loud.
Just pray that everyone's okay. It's an emotional. A lot of people are upset, and there are going to be a lot of people that are going to have a lot of needs in the very near future.
You know, you just don't know where to start. It's kind of astonishing. You don't expect it. We should after the first one, you know.
Incredible pictures and video coming out of Andover today as this community once again works to clean up from a tornado. Good evening, I'm Michael Schwenke alongside Ross Jansen tonight. We are up on the northern end of the damage, basically off of 13th Street. You look behind us here, this house wiped to the foundation. Ross, we were talking to the owner earlier. She had come out at 7 o'clock in the morning, really said she didn't know what to do. They were picking through what is left, you know, trying to save pictures and those kind of things.
Yeah, she said she has no idea, for example, where her mattress is.
Yeah.
Lots of devastation, a lot of debris scattered over the area, as would be expected with a tornado now rated EF3. That's the preliminary assessment that we got from the National Weather Service office earlier today. Of course, that could still change. But that was the information that we got from them earlier today. And the tornado was on the ground for 21 minutes. And Andover's fire chief says it's a miracle that nobody died and only 4 people suffered minor injuries. Now, as for the damage, Sedgwick County Commissioner Jim Howell says nearly 1,100 homes were damaged, most of those in Butler County. And he also says 21 homes in Sedgwick County are considered a total loss.
We have so many incredible stories tonight. We have Team 12 coverage as we follow the aftermath of this storm. Our team spent the day in Andover. We're talking with people as they clean up the debris across the city. Braxton Jones, Peyton Sanders, part of our coverage tonight, back in the studio. We'll begin tonight with Chelsea Croft. She's been in Andover tonight talking with neighbors. A Wichita jury convicts Kimberly Compass of first-degree murder in the death of her 2-year-old son, Zayden. He died from methadone poisoning 2 years ago. We were in the courtroom this afternoon to watch that verdict come in, and following that verdict, Compass again blamed her son's death on another person.
Who do I need to ask the question about Reginald Whiter's murdered my son? You guys convicted me guilty.
Ms. Compass, you need to be quiet.
I just wonder who I need to talk to about that. Because I don't think that this is fair.
After this hearing is over, you may talk to Ms. Payne about that, but the directions that I gave to the rest of the folks about appropriate behavior.
I'm not being inappropriate, I'm just asking you politely what I can do as a human being.
And it's not appropriate to interrupt the court when the court is talking. So, stop.
Okay,
You have an attorney?
I just wanted to ask you that question.
As you heard, so this is right after the verdict is read, where the jury convicts her of murder. Compass again trying to blame her, this Reggie Witters, for Zayden's death. He was with Compass and Zayden the night he died and testified for the prosecution. The judge quickly dismissed those claims, as you heard, and ordered her to stop talking. We talked with Zayden's father after that verdict, and he told us he feels his son finally has justice.
I just hope she spends every day of her life knowing that our son, my son, is not here because of her.
The first-degree murderer now carries a presumptive sentence of life in prison with no chance of parole for 25 years. Official sentencing now set for August 12th. The Kansas Supreme Court is set to make another ruling in the case of the Carr brothers. Appeal hearings for Reginald and Jonathan Carr wrapped up late this afternoon. Their attorneys say there were technical issues with the penalty phase of their trial that should overturn their death sentences. Jacob Albrecht again explains what's next in their appeal. Jacob?
Mike, this isn't the first time the Carr brothers have appealed to the Kansas Supreme Court. After today's hearings, it's up to the justices to decide whether to side with the brothers or the state. It's after the Kansas Supreme Court originally overturned their death sentences in 2014, only to be overruled by the U.S. Supreme Court. Attorneys for Reginald and Jonathan Carr list more than 20 technical issues they say happened during the penalty phase of the trial. Those include that the brothers' sentencing should have been done separately. They also claim that there were errors with jury instructions and the proceedings. These issues were left undecided by the Kansas Supreme Court in 2014. The attorney for Jonathan Carr this afternoon saying the cumulative effect of that led the jury to approve of capital punishment. The brothers were convicted of 5 murders and dozens of other charges for crimes committed in December of 2000.
Deprived of his right to offer his defense, and he was facing the accusations of Jonathan Carr, two things that shouldn't have happened. So can we have confidence in this death verdict, and can we conclude he received due process of law?
The state says the death sentences should stand because there were no reversible errors in the cases and there was overwhelming evidence to convict them. If the Kansas Supreme Court reverses its death sentence, the two would still serve life in prison.
Thanks, Jacob. An online store trying to turn a profit off items from a serial killer. Hear from an investigator looking into the sale of items from Dennis Rader. A stormy night across parts of Kansas with storms like this one and haze rumbling throughout the state. Chief Meteorologist Ross Jansen keeping an eye on severe thunderstorms, even a tornado warning out there tonight. Still some storms on radar right now, so Ross, are they still severe? Thank you, Ross. We are following breaking news tonight from Butler County. The FBI says a man has been wanted, now in custody. That followed a manhunt today near Towanda. Anna Auld joins us from the breaking news desk with some of those new details. Anna.
Well, Mike, a manhunt near Towanda is over after Kansas Highway Patrol tells us James Robert is in custody. Police have been looking for him since last night when Butler County deputies and the FBI agents tried to arrest him at a campground in Augusta. Roberts ran away, and the search led to precautions today, including a lockout at Towanda schools, as the FBI said he should be considered dangerous. The FBI did not say why they were seeking him. We did speak to one man who says agents came to his property to search it.
They were searching the property and had told us that they were going through the vehicles that we had on the property and they were on a manhunt.
Again, agents did not say why they were searching for Roberts. The Butler County Sheriff's Office says it plans to send out a press release sometime soon. As we learn new information on the search, we'll keep you updated here on Eyewitness News and on your KWCH 12 app.
Thank you, Anna. A Barber County man is dead following a crash involving a cement truck. It happened this morning northwest of Medicine Lodge. The Highway Patrol says Anthony Peak was southbound on a county road when his front tire caught some loose sand. Peak overcorrected and rolled into the ditch. Nobody else was hurt. City of Garden Plain under a boil water advisory after the city's water tower lost pressure and drained. That means boil water for at least a minute before you use it to cook or drink it, disinfect dishes and surfaces that come in contact with food. The water should be safe for bathing. You may soon be able to place a bet in Kansas, and just in time for this year's football season. This is Governor Kelly signs a new law legalizing sports betting, making Kansas the 35th state in the country to make it legal. Sean Logging joins us tonight, taking a look at the implications and what type of revenue Kansas is looking at. Sean.
Yeah, Mike, sports betting is a rapidly expanding industry in the U.S. since the first states legalized it in 2018. More than $125 billion in bets have been placed, according to the Legal Sports Report, which tracks these figures. With more states continuing to legalize, this market is expected to balloon in the next few years.
Thanks, Sean. A Russell man in jail after a high-speed chase in central Kansas. The Barton County Sheriff tells us speeds did reach 120 miles an hour yesterday morning as officers chased Trenton Barons in Barton and Rush counties. Started as deputies spotted him north of Great Bend in a car that had fled two other law enforcement agencies. The chase ended when his tire blew out northwest of Bison. Deputies booked him on traffic and drug violations as well as some outstanding warrants.
You can walk up to a house and they want you to clear it out and you're like, how am I ever going to get that done? And then 30 or 40 people show up and it's done really fast.
Tomorrow will mark 2 weeks since that EF3 tornado hit Sedgwick and, of course, Butler counties. And as you heard, volunteers are still hard at work helping the community clean up. Today was another mass volunteer day for the tornado cleanup efforts. Hundreds of people showing up again to help clear some of the debris. There will be one last organized volunteer day to help with recovery. It's this Saturday between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. You need to go to the Andover United Methodist Church to be assigned a location. An update now on a story we've been following over the last several weeks. The Renwick School District will allow students now to participate in some sporting events with other schools. Board members voted to allow cooperative sports following a situation involving a Garden Plain High School's Sydney Pets. Wichita Independent agreed to let pets join their soccer team since Garden Plain does not have one. Keisha also approved the move, but Renwick Schools initially refused to let her compete outside of district lines, but reversed that decision Monday night.
This is a very special product that's very difficult to recreate and find elsewhere.
It is a national baby formula shortage, leaving some parents seeking alternative solutions. We talked to pediatricians what they say you should not do if you can't find formula. And a high-speed crash caught on camera, how this Tesla ended up in an Ohio convention center.
Expect more from KWC.